In 2018, after beating 50/20 mode and Ultimate Custom Night, Dako was rewarded with an interview with the creator of FNAF himself, Scott Cawthon. The interview ended up answering some pretty important details, but I wanted to call out one in particular. Scott mentions how he regretted making FNAF World canon. While this might seem like a small detail, it actually may have a much bigger impact on the series in modern day. FNAF World begins with informing us monsters have been showing up, even some looking like the original animatronics, because something has happened on the flip side, and I feel like it's not question enough what actually happened. I'm not a modern lore expert, but I'm gonna take a page out of Matthew's book for this and say I think Ruin and Help Wanted answered this for us. If his idea of the mimic has been scanned into these games, then it would explain quite a bit, the only real issue being timing. We have characters that look like replicas of the originals, just slightly off, and not to mention we have an ability flat out called Mimic, in which a green version of Freddy appears, which I don't think is too much of a stretch to say is some sort of connection either to Glitchtrap, who appears green in Help Wanted, or whatever controls the green VR space throughout the game of Ruin. Also, both games having us defeat a security system seems a bit convenient, and while those may be a bit of a reach, I refuse to believe the addition of glitched objects that allow you to walk through them and access new paths, as well as other realities, as it seems with the hidden area in Monty Golf and the portals. These seem like strong parallels to the flip side. I 100% believe they have to be connected in some way. But let's look into the problems, mainly, again, timing. FNAF World seems very clearly to be a recreation of the events of Happiest Day, thanks to the glitched dialogue. This would make you think FNAF World takes place post FNAF 1, but before the ending of FNAF 6, because unless you're part of the Gregpot community, Crying Child doesn't seem to exist past the ending. But the events of FNAF VR have to take place after Henry is dead. After all, the company was dissolved after this place burned, to be later purchased by Mr. Burroughs. So these events can't correlate one-to-one. Hold on a minute. John, as upset as I am about the Glamrock Bonnie situation, might get a point here. Because for a while now, he's been on the side of Baby Charlie Bot, popularized by her existence in the Silver Eyes trilogy. I haven't touched this avenue mainly because I want to give Henry the benefit of the doubt that he didn't make the fun times, but it wouldn't destroy any parts of my timeline if Henry did turn out to be the clown maker as well. It would kind of just kick over any ties between the fun times being the Aftons, but I digress. Back on topic, his current belief is that Michael removed the Charlie Bot mimic virus from Baby, and it would later go on to be used to create all the havoc that is modern FNAF. But if we take a step back and pretend, as Baby says, that this guy really is Henry and that he built Baby, then the line of him regarding him regretting building Baby might not have anything to do with Baby herself, but rather the mimic virus. You could gloss over his death here as more of a representation of him coming up with his suicide mission of destroying everything, especially to get rid of this mimic, hence why he could rest, but he has to finish this first. I didn't fully believe this because I think Greyman was a representation of Scott, given the Steam post about him making only 2 characters that truly terrify him, being a teaser for Sister Location. But again, even if not the original intention, it would change the meaning of that line completely. Bonnie, as a character, we know gave Scott nightmares, and then he would later go on to be the suit that William chose to commit all of the murders, and he basically became the face of the antagonist of this series. But Baby didn't have as much of an impact as William did at all. So then why would Scott go on to say that she was terrifying to him? Unless it wasn't actually about Baby. It was about the series' second antagonist, the Mimic. But I don't know. I'm not up to date with the series at the moment, and while I have the Fazbear Frights books, I don't have the Tales books yet, so you'll have to wait if you want to see me actually make attempts at the series. Real quick, I want to throw in a little bonus. The thank you poster contains a certain amount of characters, however, it's missing some that would later go on to be added to the game. There's a little pattern here in that the characters that are missing sort of fall under the don't physically exist category, being the Shadows, Phantoms, JJ, etc. This was clearly intentional, as the Endos show up, but not the main gang of, FNAF 3. However, that would lead you to question why the nightmares are here unless they physically exist in some form. Any theorists watching this, just do me a favor and go back and look through FNAF World. Maybe there's some details I missed because I'm still finding some each day. But anyway, I know I've been a FNAF tuber for like the past few weeks, and I still will probably be for a while now because this series eats at me day by day. But I don't want you guys to get the expectation that I only make FNAF content. I enjoy first-person shooters, Minecraft, or just making music videos. So try and check them out if you have the time. But I'll see you all in the What If series. It'll be releasing soon, I promise. Probably the next video after this, who knows. Mata ne.